Now what we're going to do is, before we start actually seating the projectiles in the brass and crimping everything into place, you want to refer back to your book one more time. This technical drawing right here is going to show you the dimensions of the cartridge. Your overall cartridge length in this case, with round nose ball, which is what we're going to load, is 1.275 inch. What you'll need to do is you will need to invest in a little dial caliper, or you can get a digital caliper. I've seen some of these battery operated models go for as cheap as 20-30 bucks. Very invaluable. I'd highly recommend that you invest in one of these. Now let's go set these cases up and get them ready to be get the projectiles seated, get them loaded up, and take them out and test fire them. These are the 225 grain round nose cast lead bullets that I'd made previously. And like I said before, last time in the last video we did 32 ACP, but I decided for clarity purposes, let's go with something a little bit larger. So, let's go ahead and pull the last die out and put the seating die in. So what I've done is I put the seating die in, but if you'll notice I've backed everything out where it's a little bit loose, because we don't know exactly where we want to seat this thing to completely yet since we're setting it up. So what we'll do is we'll take one of our cases, we'll slip it in the shell holder, we'll take one of our projectiles, we'll set it on top of the belled case mouth, and then we'll just raise the rim by lowering the handle. Alright, we're fairly close, but let's go down just a little bit. This is where your adjustments are going to be made. Now once you get that grease groove down inside the case, what you want to do is go ahead and take your first measurement. Remember, according to the book, we want to go 1.275. And we're considerably longer than that, so now we can start making our adjustment. Let's see where we're seated with this. Just a little bit more. You hold your die body in place and turn the cedar stem. .275, right on the money. Now that we've gotten our first projectile seated to the depth we want, you got to keep in mind that on automatic pistol cartridges, they get a taper crimp, not a roll crimp. So here's how we'll do the final setting. We'll back our seating stem out. We'll run it up inside there, and then we'll just turn it a little bit and work it back and forth until we get our taper crimp. Once we have a reliable taper crimp, go ahead and run it all the way back up and stop. Adjust your lock nut for your die body. Just hand tight's fine, you don't need wrenches. Then go ahead and run your cedar stem all the way down until it stops. Then turn the lock nut for it as well. Just to be on the safe side, I like to make one more last measurement. And here's our first loaded cartridge. And now our seating die is properly adjusted. So let's load the rest of these. Once you have everything set, all you have to do is slide the case in, seat the projectile on top, and you're ready to go. We'll check this one for overall length, and we're good to go with that one as well. So let's go ahead and get the rest of these loaded up. As a final process, what I like to do is give them a quick inspection. And since we're using lubricated cast bullets, we want to make sure that there's no blemishes or any problems, and there's no excess lube to pick up dirt. So I'll take an old rag and I'll wipe the cases off on the outside and the projectiles and take a look at every one of them. Now this process is using a single stage reloading tool, which means for single stage, for each pistol cartridge, you're going to pull that lever 3 times from the beginning to end. So as you can see, it's going to be kind of tedious, but beginning reloaders can start off with one of these kits from Lee Precision, and you'll spend about $100 for the kit. The dies are anywhere from $25 to $35 depending on the cartridge. Then your gunpowder and primers. So for about $175, maybe $200 tops, you can have everything you need to get started loading. Now let's load these up and take them outside. You've seen the process. It starts with an empty fired case all the way up to a case that's ready to, a cartridge ready to be loaded in the magazine and fired. So let's take these out back and fire them. Now we have our magazine of homemade cast bullets that we have loaded up. I'm going to shoot these out of my 1911. It's my concealed carry gun, or one of my two. My other is a 357 Magnum. So let's do a functions check on these bullets that we've made. They worked fine. Well, if you've noticed when we went outside and fired those cast bullet loads, a little bit smoky. I'd say probably red dot might not be the best choice for a cast bullet. I actually prefer using unique, but I just happen to have a can of red dot handy, so that's what we went with. Now, for a future project, you guys need to stay tuned because the big brown Santa Claus truck called UPS just brought me a delivery in today. One of our near future projects, I just got a nice match grade barrel for an M1 Garand. We're going to install this on the Garand. We're going to rebuild it. We're going to chamber it up. We're going to turn it into a tack driver. So, be watching for that in the future. Now, before I get any more questions, and I know I'm going to get them, because there's always questions. Somebody's going to ask, well, shooting cast lead bullets in my gun, won't that foul the bore up with lead? Yeah, if you don't do it right. That's why, as soon as I'm done with the last part of the editing, you should get the ebook, because I'm going to explain how to make your alloys, how to cast them up, how to get your projectiles to obturate in the bore, and prevent that leading to begin with. Thank you for watching this latest Gunworks video. Down East Gunworks is a full-service firearm repair service for all your long guns and handguns that includes a high-tech machine shop for tooling obsolete parts. Old or new, if you have a firearm that needs attention, Gunworks can probably fix it, solve it, coat it, and make it work. If you're living in Down East Maine, come by the shop for a visit. We're located on Route 1 in Harrington. If you live elsewhere, you can reach us by going to the website www.downeastgunworks.com or call in the shop at area code 207-483-2175. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please leave me a comment and rate the video. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'll always know when I've posted something new. And thanks again for watching.